the Cincinnati Bengals taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you talked about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. Here come the Bengals, and CD, of course, it's Joe Burrow out of LSU at quarterback.
And he's had good success here already this season throwing the football. 6 touchdown passes in his 2 games. He's really got this offense playing with a lot of confidence, trying to establish themselves early as a Super Bowl contender.
Here's Burrow to throw right away. And that one off the mark behind him. Incomplete. Looking for Cade Otton that time, but it'll be second down. You look at the Steeler defense. They were terrific a week ago in the win over Seattle.
And it was the pass rush that really keyed their victory. Got to the quarterback 6 times for sacks and plenty of other turbulence in the pocket for him as well.
Burrow's throw taken in here by Chase. And they'll wind up getting this to the 37. Gain of 9. This defense for the Steelers, much improved from week 1. They were terrific last week in getting their guys their first win of the season.
And I'm eager to see the game plan and trying to attack them this week, because when you take it away 4 times through interceptions, what do you do now when you go into a game? Do you decide you can't throw the ball? Do you try and run it more? Or do you tell your quarterback, make sure you see your guys open before you deliver?
The Bengals bring out their punter now, as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds. That'll be a 41-yard punt, 4 yards there on the return. And they will take over 1st and 10. So here are the Steelers now to take over for the first time. And trotting out there, their tall quarterbacks standing at 6'5".
I tell you what, when he is on schedule for that week, secondaries take notice, because you've got to stay alert back there on every snap. A truly powerful arm, one is capable of challenging any level of the defense on any given play. That's why so many scouts preach arm talent when preparing for the NFL draft. A quarterback with arm strength to make every throw in the book, he's an asset to have in any offense.
The numbers for Gibbs from last week, 9 carries, 70 yards.
And that's just not enough carries for a running back to get loose and really feel like he's into the game, because they have to have enough volume to establish a rhythm, not just for themselves, but also to get in sync with their offensive line so they can read the blocks properly and they can execute them. I expect them to get a minimum of 15 carries in this game, and the optimum number would be 20-plus.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. From the gun, he'll hand this off. And he's going to be stopped short of the first down as they'll get to him at about the 33. So in their own territory, but they only need a few inches, so they're going to opt to go for this thing. We'll see. Maybe a surprise pass or run. What will they do? We're about to find out. 4th down. And this is going to be a Steelers first down as he's got this up to the 45-yard line.
If he writes a book in the offseason, he ought to title it Undaunted, because where he is on the field, back on his own side, and goes for it and gets it, I got to give it to him on that one.
Yeah, only thing you can justify it with is it was only a few inches that they needed. If it's 4th and 2, probably doesn't do it. Hey, he got it. Give him credit.
Yeah, but if they don't pick it up,
then you're in trouble.
Yeah, they're giving points to the other team at that stage.
The Steelers at 1-1 through 2 games thus far. It's not a start that's going to set the world on fire, but they've been pretty solid nonetheless.
And the first thing that crosses my mind, it certainly beats the alternative of starting 0-2. I do think that this is a team that's going to take a little time to find its footing.
Oh, his first throw of the game going to be intercepted. And a super return as he gets us all the way down inside the 25-yard line. So a first interception thrown for him there, and that really not the best decision either.
Not at all, and that's something he did not do in their victory last week. No interceptions in that game, but this defense, they're able to take advantage of an early mistake. Now let's see if they're going to turn it into points.
And he'll be brought down short of the 15, but a really good move on the run. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
From the 17, here's 2nd and 4. Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. Wide open receiver complete. And the Bengals are going to have a 1st and goal as the tackle is made at about the 5.
It's all pretty simple sometimes, isn't it? Go where the defenders are not, and he does exactly that. Makes a nice catch to move the chains. Defense got to find a better way of accounting for the shorter routes that are being run against them.
Here's Gillisley. And he is in. Touchdown, Bengals. A great effort there. His 2nd rushing touchdown on the year. And the Bengals use the early turnover to get on the board first here in this one. Extra point splits the uprights, and it's now a 7-0 game. The drive there only spanning 3 plays, and it's finished off with a 5-yard touchdown run. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And we'll see a return here from the end zone. And he won't quite make it to the 25. So Pittsburgh retakes the field for their 2nd offensive possession. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others. Where they think they have an advantage, dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Now it's Griffin. Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27.
Well, they're certainly not giving much help to their defense, are they? Because for the 2nd time now, that D has had to run back out on the field early after an interception. And remember, on the last drive, the opposing side took it in for 6 after that interception.
Throwing now, Burrow on first down. Now a battle for the football, and it's caught. It's a touchdown. Jamar Chase with an acrobatic catch. And the Bengals are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Point after, right down the middle. And that'll make the score 14-0. A nice, tidy little drive there, getting the ball in excellent field position, and only one play to score it. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped at the 23-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively, obviously. 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit, like, hey, didn't we practice in that colored jersey all week? Not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But
touchdown! Jamison Williams, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Steelers are able to strike quickly here as they are in for 6. Extra point right down the middle, and that'll make our score 14-7. Those are the kind of drives they like on offense, from the coordinator to the quarterback, the line, everybody. 1-play drive and into the end zone for 6. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. Cincinnati's offense coming back here onto the field. Early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game. But I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue. Look at this, middle of the field, a breakaway. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Good work after the catch, going to net him 23 and a first.
Oh, that's a nice job of clearing space in the middle of the field for your tight end. He's going to start behind the line and run an angle route, hoping to kind of get lost in the middle of the field. And this is put right on him, and he's able to pick up a first down.
On 1st and 10, Joe Burrow. And there's a short one taken in by Otten. So the completion good for just 3. And it'll be 2nd down. You look at this Steeler defense. They were terrific a week ago in the win over Seattle.
And I'm eager to see the game plan and trying to attack them this week, because when you take it away 4 times through interceptions, do you now decide that I can't throw the ball against this team and try and run it like crazy? Or do you challenge them? This is going to be fun.
And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 35. The Bengals passing game finding a rhythm. They've got another first. And Burrow going to throw again. There's a short one taken in by Otten. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. So apparently some grabbing there in the middle of the O-line.
I've often wondered why that doesn't happen more often for guys that play center. Having to snap the ball and then trying to get your hands into the proper position, that's difficult to do. He got caught that time.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Now Burrow. Otten brings it in over the middle. Without the previous penalty, that would have been a first down. Instead, it's just a gain of 10.
A nice chunk play from the tight end position, and it illustrates the cohesiveness that he and his quarterback have. Both saw the extra defender doubling him up, and they still combined for the completion and big gain.
Here's 2nd and 10. From the shotgun, Joe Burrow. Finding Otten once more. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27.
I don't care what sport you're playing. Everyone likes to build up a little momentum, don't they? And look at this, back-to-back completions to the big target at tight end.
That one not as profitable as the other, but still a decent game. 3rd and 2, now Burrow. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 17-yard line. Give them 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward.
I like the call on 3rd and 2. They were geared up to stop the run. I like the fact they just hit them quick. A little slant route. All about timing there, partner.
Yeah, the timing, everything well executed. So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. Burrow looking to pass. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on first down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a 2nd and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone. Now it's Burrow. Looking middle, and that's complete. And the Bengals are going to be looking at 1st and goal as they move this down to the 4-yard line. That catch now puts him on the doorstep of 500. It's his 499th reception. This is Gillisley. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. A great play there with his second touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Bengals go up by 2 touchdowns. The extra point splits the uprights, and it's now 21-7. That time a 9-play drive, and it results in a 4-yard touchdown run. The kicking team out now for the Bengals as they'll send this one away. They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. Pittsburgh offense making their way back out. Well, partner, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here. And
it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
On 1st and 10, it's Griffin. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
Well, anytime he reads man coverage, I don't think it's going to be the only time he'll try and hit that route to the outside in this game. He'll test the perimeter, but that time, they were up to the challenge.
Now a 2nd and 10. Gibbs straight ahead. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
Okay, he didn't break that one all the way, but you got to know that he feels like he's right on the verge, and that's probably exactly what he's telling them in the huddle right now.
Griffin now to throw on 3rd down. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he's going to be taken down. Plus, there's a penalty flag in the backfield. They may get 15 more on top of this. So roughing the passer, and they get the safety there.
And this is one, I think, where the safeties usually got to come a long way. So sometimes it's tough for them to slow down that momentum. That's going to draw the flag more times than not.
Hand off now to Gibbs. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down. A pretty wild first quarter. 21-7, our score. Steeler football here to begin quarter number 2 as they are looking at a 2nd and 5 situation. On the give, here's Gibbs. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. He's down inside the 10 to the 8, and it comes on a gain of 8.
Good yardage there on 1st down. Exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making 1st downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your 2nd down play.
On 2nd down, here's Gibbs. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Jahmyr Gibbs, an 8-yard touchdown run. And the Steelers are back within a score. Point after try forthcoming. It's up and good. This becomes a 21-14 ball game now. That time a 6-play drive. And it was all capped off by a touchdown run from Jahmyr Gibbs. Here's the Steelers' kick team as they'll boot this one away. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. For this offense, Charles, remember the last time they were out here, marched it nearly the full length of the football field, and a lot of the attack went through the air, so now they're seeing if they can duplicate that performance.
Okay, if I show my age a little bit, partner, because I can hear my high school coach, John Ford. I can hear his voice in my head. Laddie, when you put the ball in the air, 3 things can happen, and 2 of them are bad. But the way the game's being played now, this is just part of what they do. So I don't think they should change anything at all. They've been dominant. Keep throwing it around.
On second down, they'll run it here. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
Second and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
Right back to him on first down. And he maneuvers up the middle for 3, and it's second down.
The passing game's been working quite well so far, but the running game's been a little bit of a struggle, and that's a surprise to me. Typically, when you can throw it, you've opened up lanes for your runners.
From the 44-yard line, here's second down at 7. From the gun, they'll try to run it. And a good burst there gets him 7 up to midfield.
That was a good run, probably right on the edge of breaking into something really big. So the defensive guys right now are talking about, okay, what can we do to slow him down before he truly gets started?
Here comes third and the length of the football. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. Heavy set out there on 3rd and 1. On 3rd down, they're going to run for it here. And I don't think he got there. No, they stop him right where it all started. They'll be marked inches short. No gain on the play, and that's going to lead them to 4th down.
You know, we might start getting some props here in the booth. You know, that one that says the D and then the fence that you put up next to it? How about that? They brought out the jumbo package and still couldn't move them off the line of scrimmage enough to pick up that first down.
Impressive. They were ready defensively for that jumbo set. The Steelers offense now, they head back onto the field. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
Man, confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. Throwing now, Griffin on first down. Finds Pickens outright. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. That'll wind up a gain of 27 on the catch and run.
And it's a real luxury when you have a guy who can turn a short throw into a solid gain at any moment. Once he caught that ball, he ID'd where the open grass was and got there in a hurry to pick up a new set of downs for his offense.
Now they'll run it with Gibbs. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
2nd and 10. Griffin. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And the Bengals grab it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. A lot of talk this week about ball security. In fact, they added an extra period in practice to be more secure with the ball. It didn't work out there.
Well, sometimes you just get overexcited during the game. You may all of a sudden make your catch, see some open field, and decide you're going for it, and not realizing the danger lurks while you're doing so, and there's your end result right there.
The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup. And he has now hit number 500. Charles, that is his 500th NFL career catch.
Definitely worthy of applause, but I remember when 500 meant you were going to the Hall of Fame. Nowadays, in today's football, 500 puts you on the path, a significant number.
And they work this well upfield across the 45. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
The Steelers signal for the second of their timeouts. So as they talk it over, we step aside. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Now they'll run it on the toss. Gets around him, and he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. Another strong gain on the last two plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 41. Slot man moves right. He'll get an opportunity with it on the touch pass.
And a lot of times these plays, they either go for nothing or they go for big yardage. And here, they got to the outside, turned it upfield, and ended up getting a nice little gain out of it.
On second down, they'll run it here. Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. Burrow will throw. The throw here right sideline falls incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. And this is off the left upright. And it comes back. It's no good. And this will remain a 1-touchdown game. So distance not the issue there. He had plenty of leg to get it there. It's that darn upright getting in the way.
Always gets in the way of a good time, doesn't it? Because he hit it square, too. Sometimes you can bank one in if you get it on the end of the football. No such luck there for him.
And they start things off with a carry by Gibbs here. And he'll get this out past the 45 to the 47. 49 yards rushing for him now to this point.
From the lineman to the guy running with it, that was a well-executed first down by the offense. With 2 shots left to get the first, you can get a little aggressive here on second down if you want and try for some bigger yardage.
And they'll run on the inside handoff. And a good run here as he'll rumble all the way down to the 40-yard line. It's a Pittsburgh first down, a gain of 13.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Now Griffin on first down. Completes this one to Pickens. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
Give him 4 yards on the play, and that will lead us into the 2-minute warning. Second down and 6 now from the 26. They'll go again with Gibbs. That's going to be a 6-yard gain. It leaves him with third down and just a yard to go.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
Here's a handoff out of the gun. And he's going to have a first down here as he gets this one to the 17-yard line. They're able to convert with a gain of 4.
I don't know about you, but that almost felt like old-time football there. 3rd and 2 is not necessarily just a running down anymore. A lot of times they want to throw the ball. They went back to the roots and powered forward and got the first down.
And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
Consecutive positive runs for him on the last 2 snaps. He certainly appears to be trying to put the offense on his back and just move them down the field when his number is called. The way he's running it, I keep going back to him.
Now the first carry here for the running back. It's a 7-yard gain and good enough to move the chains.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
From the gun, it's Griffin. This will be caught at about the 6. A good display of power, but ultimately it gets him just inside the 5 to the 4 and no further. Two of their 3 red zone trips so far, they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. And now an audible here into something else. On 2nd down, here's Griffin. And that will be incomplete with a clock down now to 13 seconds.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
Big play coming here. It's 3rd and goal. Here's Griffin to throw. And that's incomplete. Clock stops with 10 seconds left. So it's been a long drive. They've held the ball for quite a while. Now what do you do here?
Well, to me, at this stage, after this drive, this close to the goal line, 3 points would be a letdown. I'm going for it here.
So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. All that remains is to snap this once, and that'll do it for the first half of play. So we've reached halftime here in the Queen City, and it's the Bengals leading this one. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks. And welcome in everybody to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Time for a look around the NFL here in Week 3 of the new year. We'll start over at Raymond James Stadium in Tampa, and it's the Bears who have the lead. The Bears locked in a tight one, but this is a game you feel they've got to have. From there, we head up to MetLife Stadium to check on the Jets. And you can see, currently they trail in that ball game. Josh Allen has thrown 2 touchdown passes. lastly, let's motor up to the Motor City. See what's happening with the Lions at home at Ford Field. And this one going the visitors' way as the Cardinals have the lead in that one. Trey Benson with a touchdown run. We saw a strong first half out of the quarterback, Joe Burrow. He connected on a touchdown pass in that first half, and that's a big part of why his guys lead at the break.
Okay, Coach, yeah, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this third quarter in what's been a tight contest so far. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. Jamison Williams out onto the field as his guys take over on offense.
And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this, but it's usually not by himself, is it?
Right.
Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Nick Herbig there on the stop. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. From the shotgun, Griffin. He finds Pickens over the middle. And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Now Griffin. Now a short pass pulled in by Washington. And he will have a Steelers first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
For a tight end, he's got good straight line speed, and on that route, he's often the guy that gets overlooked. Nice job there finding him in stride for really good yardage.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And give him about 5 as he gets this up to the 48-yard line.
Not a huge play, but I think they're more than happy with how it turned out. Don't be surprised to see them revisit that call because there was a lane there for more than just 5 yards. Put it in your back pocket and break it out when you need it later.
Hands it off out of the gun. And a solid run here as he'll pick his way down to the 42-yard line. 60 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far.
The more football I watch, the more I want to check and see if teams are going to panic when they're down on the scoreboard. And this team has shown no signs of doing that. A lot of the time, they come out after the half. Things haven't worked so well in the first go-around. They want to throw the football like crazy. But the way to open up throwing the ball is to run it. And they've run it well here to start the second half.
7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
Here's 2nd and 3. This is Ford. And a short gain down to about the 33. They're trying to keep the drive going. This will be play number 8. It's 3rd and 2. From the gun, he'll hand this off. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. Well, they were in search of a short gain on 3rd down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards.
This has been a good drive so far. It's been the running game for the most part that's powered them down there. Another nice burst there, picking up a first down. Now it's 1st and 10, as you said, in the red zone.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack.
call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
But really, that was no surprise there. They've been running it well all game, and I know goals change all the time, but any team will take that type of run each and every time.
Now a 2nd and 6. Now a first carry for their fullback. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2.
Well, partner, they've been running it well the entire game, and the big guys up front, they're a huge reason why. And now they're reaping the benefits as they continue to open up big holes and gain nice yardage.
A couple extra tight ends in the formation here as they line up 3rd and 2. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he's in. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. A great effort there. His first touchdown of the new season. And the Steelers have taken the lead as they go right down the field and score on the opening drive of the second half. The call is to go for 1 and kick the extra point. And that one gives them a 3-point lead. A pretty long drive that time. 11 plays all told. And it ends with a 3-yard scoring run. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. So here are the Bengals now as they get their first possession of this second half. And Charles, it feels like we're set up for a good second half here. Came out of the locker room, 1-score game. Now the lead has already changed hands. Well, this offense, they've got an opportunity right now to take that lead right back.
Yeah, and it feels like you're going back and forth almost a little bit like a tennis match, right? And we're just, our heads just keep moving. Which side has it? Which side's going to score? How are they going to go out doing it? A little bit of a challenge for each side trying to match each other.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Now they go play action now. Burrow. He will find his man Chase complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Burrow to his old LSU teammate Chase for a Bengal first.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them. And these guys have been taking advantage so far.
Meanwhile, Burrow's throw caught by Higgins. It'll be a gain of 5, and that'll make it second down. From the gun, they'll try to run it. It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves them with a 3rd and 3.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
A good chance this is 4-down territory if they're unable to convert. But right now looking at a 3rd and 3. Now it's Burrow. Oh, great grab by Chase. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. Jamar Chase, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Bengals have retaken a third-quarter lead. Point after, right down the middle. And that will make this a 4-point game. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it was Jamar Chase who finished it off with a touchdown reception. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Here we go on the return from the 1-yard line. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. Pittsburgh set to take over again on offense.
They had gotten the lead with the opening drive touchdown in the third quarter. Now they relinquished that lead back. Could be in for an interesting second half.
It certainly appears that way, doesn't it? Almost turning into one of those pendulum games, right, where it swings back and forth, and who's going to make the play that changes that maybe it puts it on one side and keeps it there.
And even 100 yards for him on the ground now, as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
And that last carry puts him right at 100 yards for the game. So how has he done it? Because he's been patient, followed his blocks, let everything develop, and then burst through for big gains.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And able to work about 5 yards out of this as he's taken down up near the 47.
I think we all suspected that they were going back to him after he found the end zone on his last carry, and they kept the positive momentum going there. Another nice run by him.
And they'll run on the inside handoff. And a pretty athletic run right there as he's going to get this down inside the 40.
That one good for 14 yards and a Steeler first. He continues to be effective running the football, a big reason that they have the lead.
And I love one of the quotes that I read about him where he said of himself, "I love it when a team just hops on my back and I just carry them along."
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
In motion, the tight end. Now Griffin on second down. This is caught. And in for the Steelers touchdown.
Jamison Williams
with his second touchdown of the afternoon.
And the Steelers have taken the lead here in this third quarter.
I know we often laugh and sometimes we even exalt the guys who are great trash talkers and give us some really funny lines. But the bottom line is absolute production on the field. His second touchdown of the game, and they lead.
And now they'll be looking to their defense to preserve that lead. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. Joe Burrow trots out again with the rest of his offense.
And he had the touchdown on the last drive, also 4 for 4. Very, very effective. What does he need to do to translate that forward into this drive?
Not think that what he saw in coverages last time is exactly what he's going to get again. He's got to play ahead and start thinking to himself, okay, we just did that. What are they going to take away now? What do we go to as a counter? And continue to encourage his offensive line to continue to give him time.
They were really good on the last drive. It'll go as a gain of 4, and that'll bring up second down. They're passing here. Joe Burrow.
He's going to have the hook up here to Chase. And Chase going to pick up a Bengals first down as he's up to the 43.
9 yards that time. They will throw on first down with Burrow.
There's a short one taken in by Otten.
Call it a gain of 3 on the play, and that's going to bring up second down. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play, so we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
From the 47 now, they'll work with a 2nd and 7.
Here's Burrow. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down.
Well, it's easy to see when we review this that the ball needs to come out quicker, because if you don't throw it right on the break, you bring a crowd of people into the equation.
And that's why it got knocked away there.
This offense so far on third down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 7. Throwing again, it's Burrow. And they will touch him down, but not before he gets the first. It goes as a gain of 9, and it moves the chains. Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line.
Here's Burrow completing this to Chase.
And all the way in for a Cincinnati score.
Jamar Chase.
His 3rd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year.
And the Bengals answer back with a touchdown of their own to take a 4th quarter lead.
Extra point right down the middle. And that will make this a 4-point game. The kicking team out now for the Bengals as they'll send this one away.
And out a little across the 25 to the 27.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field.
And they will be looking to answer the touchdown their defense just surrendered. Still a good chunk of time remaining here in the 4th quarter and a chance to regain the lead in a tight one.
They'll start this drive out on the ground.
65 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
If you're in the offensive huddle, you're smiling after that play because you certainly got them guessing now. 2nd and short, could they just hand it off for another big gain? Or did they take advantage of this spot to take a big shot downfield?
Now here's a handoff out of the gun.
And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the 1st down.
On 3rd down, they're going to run for it here. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
We all love to have a home run hitter in the backfield. Guy who can take it the distance. But in short yardage, trying to pick up 1st downs, that big guy, always a nice luxury to have, isn't he?
Now they'll change things around before the snap. From the gun, Gibbs will get it.
5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
Here's Griffin.
That's going to be caught by Pickens.
Only able to gain a couple there. And now it's 3rd and 3.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line. But once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
Now it's Griffin.
That is caught.
And he's got another 1st down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals' 43. A strong pickup of 11 keeps their drive alive. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Now, during that run, an injury here. We got one of those big blockers in some discomfort. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. Here's a 2nd and 5. Now Griffin.
Now a short pass pulled in by Washington.
And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals 26. 12 yards that time at a Pittsburgh first.
And here we are in the fourth quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
He'll take it inside the 25.
This has been an up and down, back and forth type of a game, hasn't it? Maybe this long drive can take a little bit of the wind out of their sails, kind of settle things down a little bit.
From the 24 now, here's second down and 8.
Griffin.
Now a short pass pulled in by Washington.
What a methodical drive this is turning out to be. That time 9 yards, and the sticks move again.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play, and that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Now a give to Gibbs, running left.
And he'll get about 3 just outside the 10, stopped at the 11.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
And they'll come up 2nd and 7. Hands it off out of the gun.
Down to the 6-yard line on a pickup of 6 as he gets halfway to the goal line.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
From the gun, he'll hand this off.
And he will have the first down before he's brought down at the 3. A 3rd down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough.
That's a tremendous group effort there because when you talk about offensive lines, the best ones, talk about guys that play in harmony, in sync, and getting things done, and they did that on that play.
Yeah, especially on 3rd and 1. Got to be in sync, and they were. Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown, and that's what they're gunning for on 1st and goal.
Gibbs will get down close to the goal line, but not in, as he'll be marked down at the 1.
It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
Good work there, holding them out on 1st down, and this is going to be a battle down here on the goal line. Can they hold their ground for 2, maybe even 3 more plays?
2nd and goal from the 1. And they'll let the fullback try and take him home. Pushing and fighting his way in for a Steeler touchdown. Taking it in from a yard out.
And the Steelers have moved out in front here in the 4th quarter.
Now an important extra point here to stretch this lead to a field goal. He's got it, and this is indeed up to a 3-point lead. That drive, a long one, spanning 15 plays. And it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. Here's the Steelers' kick team as they'll boot this one away.
And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. There's a look at receiver Jamar Chase as the Bengals get set to go on offense.
This defense, they wouldn't mind not seeing him again for a while. 3 trips to the end zone. How about that?
I think right now they would happily go to their general manager and say, is there any way you could get a trade?
Pressure comes, and the Steelers take him down. It'll be a loss of 10. And it'll bring up second. And that'll be marked down as their first sack of the game.
Well, they had 6 last week. And this offense did its homework, didn't it? Because they saw all that pressure, and they really worked hard to tamp it down and beat it back. And they did a great job in the first half. But now they've gotten their first sack here in the second half. Look out. They'll try to increase the pressure.
Looking deep here for Chase. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be third down.
That's some good closing speed there defensively, because that looked open for a minute. But that's great work with the ball in the air. Never gave up, converged on his man, and broke the play up.
A big play looming on third down. From the shotgun, it's Burrow. That's complete to Chase. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. Less than 2 to play with just a field goal separating these two sides. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. Plenty of time. All 3 timeouts still remain. Here's 1st and 10 now. Throwing, Burrow. And this is caught. A spectacular one-handed grab there. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. Here's 2nd down and 3. Now Burrow. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. They're backed up here. Tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the first. To throw, Burrow. Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete.
With that incompletion, reality is staring them right in the face. This entire game is down to the next snap.
Here we go. This is 4th down. Here's Burrow. And all this is taken in one-handed. What a catch. And he's brought down. Well, certainly those are the types of mistakes they're trying to avoid as they attempt to protect this lead late in the game.
And let's face it, they're hoping that this one doesn't cost them in a significant way. Yeah, one guy committed a penalty, but now the entire defense has to pay the price and try and rise up and overcome it.
Burrow. It's caught outright by Graham. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Now 2nd down and a few inches. Burrow's throw pulled in by Robinson here. And he's going to be touched down, but he's got the first down. Burrow. And Graham's got it. Complete. 2nd and 6 coming up. Throwing now is Joe Burrow. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back. Complete. Here we go. 1st and goal. The Bengals going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this 4th quarter. Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown. And that's what they're gunning for on 1st and goal. Now it's Burrow. And this is caught. Touchdown. And they've taken the lead here in the final minute. So that one, his 4th touchdown catch of the game, one behind the all-time record of 5. Extra point splits the uprights, and that will make this a 4-point game. So that one a long 11-play drive. And it's capped off by the late touchdown that puts him out in front here in the final minute of the contest. And he'll get to the 30-yard line before going out of bounds. So now the Steelers down by 4, a little over 20 seconds to go. How will this thing pan out? We'll watch as they come up on 1st down.
Now Griffin.
Eluding the pressure right.
A throw on the run, but that's going to be incomplete.
Probably time for 2 more shots, and ideally, they'd like to get to midfield or so they have a chance at a Hail Mary on the final play.
Another try, 2nd and 10 now. Here's Griffin. He's got Pickens complete. And he will get out of bounds to stop the clock as he picks up maybe 8. That's all.
Timing is so important on a route like this because he's going to line up out right, then cut straight across the field. I think the ball might have come out a count or two too late because by the time he was able to secure it, not much of a chance to turn it upfield.
Griffin.
Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Well, you were at the point where you had to take the shot no matter the down. Now it's 4th down coming up, but that may turn out to be irrelevant with how little time is remaining.
One final shot. They'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly. And that is going to be pulled in one-handed. Wow. And he's in. Are you kidding me?
How do you give that up?
One of the most improbable ways to finish a game, and they do win it on the final play.
Charles, that drive was perfect, methodical, executed so well, and they grabbed that lead with almost no time left for a last gasp from the other side.
No way you could have drawn up a better final drive because not only did they keep their eyes on the end zone, they made sure they bled the clock out as well and denied their opponent a chance to respond. That's just terrific situational football to end this one.
Charles, normally when you see a group score this many points, it's a complete blowout, but instead they needed every single one of those in this close, high-scoring affair.
And, Brandon, I'm still on the edge of my seat after that one because when you have that much scoring and it still comes down to one possession game at the end, that's not something we see very often. And in this case, these offenses, they brought it. The defenses, they're going to need some work going forward.
So for the Steelers, it's back-to-back victories now after the Week 1 defeat as they move to 2-1. And they'll have another road date next week with the Indianapolis Colts. Meanwhile, for the Bengals, they'll fall to 1-2. And they'll try to get back on the beam next week as they'll head to Cleveland to take on the Browns. So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. With that, we say so long, everybody.